So, oh yeah, yoga, katas, internal Far Eastern methodology. And it's funny to me how all the truth seems to be scattered across all of our different cultures and societies all across the land. Beyond any shadow of a doubt. But then you also see some of the other symbolism behind it. You can get the idea of creation, being able to create different life forms, and that's a little bit more of the darker side to it that we'll get to in a moment. And that's always something that got to me about alchemy. And you can see these are supposedly images from a successful attempt at creating the Philosopher's Stone. That's what some of these images are actually from, representing that. And then you even get the concept of the different sorts of life forms that they were able to create. Now, just think about this. If this was a baseline knowledge from earlier civilizations, then what were they really able to achieve with this? What did it really show? What were their capabilities? Because we have all these creatures, to include Pegasus, the winged horse, the griffin, and the chimera that we'll look at, that could well have been created by alchemy. Well, and it could just simply be the hardship, the quest itself, the experience. That's another way to look at it. Oh yeah, and the blimmies too. So there's many different ways that you have to look at it, and you have to seek it out, whether it is an actual material or whether it's an internal struggle. So many different ways to look at it. This is this is an interesting image that I always found that comes from the alchemical concept, which shows the eternal life coming from the sun. And indeed, this supposedly brought down a lot of sun worshippers, although you see there's a little bit more of the symbolism here within this particular image, with the different, the birds, the swans, and then the way the light's coming down and how it's regenerating life. We even have what looks to be interesting structures in the back here. A lot of interesting artwork, though, that's affiliated with alchemy. And then it should also be noted that it's very well documented by all the major civilizations, whether it was Islam or Latin or what have you, the Roman Empire, if that really existed as we were taught, or, it's just something else. It's intriguing to think of, though, that alchemy supposedly had its roots all the way back in the very origin of civilization. So for us, we might think of that as the first era. So a lot of different aspects to it and a lot of different ways to look at it. Yes, you're right, Quantum Paradox. And where do you think those solar logos came from? Why do you think that concept is viewed as one of the baselines of the whole concept of sun worship? Now, I get accused of everything from my logo, from being a member of the Masons to being a sun worshiper, and I can assure you neither is true. Like I said, the sun that I have was merely a gift from my students, as they drew it up because their favorite lesson was on Lucius Aurelian and the religion of Sol Invictus. So there you're hearing it from me. That's where it all came from. But always interesting, though, that these were the depictions that they give us of alchemy.